we also have levels of political action in organizations. So now we're talking about politics. So, you know, I mean, I know politics exist. I've in my whole career, not only are you having to, manage a team, remain fair, manage the gossip, but also you've got the politics of the organisation as well that you've also got to be, on top of. Again, talk us through the slide and the different levels, and what this actually really means about the level of political action in organisations.
Yeah. I just mentioned, by the way, the manager who used politics to reach the position.
Mm-hmm.
What are politics? Politics are a way of influencing people.
Mm-hmm.
It's another way. Sometimes you add power to politics, and sometimes because you don't have power, you resort to politics to be able to influence others.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, I don't want to say that politics are always bad. Sometimes you do political, you have political behavior to help the institution.
Can you would you be able to give us an example of that, or?
Well, it's like if for example managers are not really working together,
mm-hmm.
and someone is assigned with the tasks of bringing them together and let them cooperate. That person might not be powerful enough to face all these managers and to force them to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So they might go to other ways of convincing, and sometimes they would maybe propose to one or two of the managers that if you do this for me, I'll do something else for you.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, the result, okay, it's not the best way to do it, but the ultimate result will be a good result for the company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. We have quite types of political behaviour. Again, I don't want to go through every single one, but I can't believe there's so many different variations. The one that really sort of jumps out with me is the sharks. I mean, what are the sharks?
Well, they are fish, and no, I'm going to start with the others, and then I'll end up with the sharks, okay, because they are very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the types of political behavior can be hundreds of types, but we have looked at the three that are the most salient, the ones that we are going to that we can see obviously, and that are present practically everywhere.
Yeah.
Two of them are extreme, okay, but this is the way we are going to look at it. First, you have people who we call the naive people,
mm-hmm.
and let's not forget we're talking about managers here. Okay, we're not talking about all employees. We're talking about managers.
Yeah.
Some managers have a naive attitude. They don't need to be naive themselves, but they have decided that they don't like politics and they don't want to be part in politics.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they do, they will say it honestly, clearly, face to face. No playing games, no tactics. These people are ideal people. Okay, they are very, very good. They will not. With them, whatever they say, it's what you get.
Mm-hmm.
They're not hiding anything. Unfortunately, they are not well equipped to make good connections. They are not equipped to network a lot. They are not equipped to understand dirty tricks whenever they are facing it.
Mm-hmm.
They can be excellent for people who work with them, employees, but they are usually dominated by other managers. Sensible managers are those people who are somewhere in between.
Yeah.
They don't master political techniques fully. They try to use them. They try to use them for the benefit of the department. They try to expand their connections in a company. It's the example I gave before, people who will say, I'll give you something and give me something in return.
Yeah.
I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, etc. Their tactical political approach would be to negotiate a lot, to bargain a lot, and try to reach their goal through convincing and inducing, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Now the sharks are more interesting. Okay. The sharks, they say politics is exactly like any other thing I can use. If it's good for me, I'll make use of it. It can be an opportunity. The sharks will not have any regret attacking others, bullying others. Nothing will hold them from this because they feel that this is good for them.
Mm-hmm.
They can manipulate people, they can lie, they can cheat, provided they move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And their tactic is usually brutal. They can bully. Again, as I said, they can lie, they can cover information, and they can put pressure through their own position or through other people who they convince that you have to side with me against the others.
Mm-hmm.
So sharks are not usually very nice people.
Yeah, but what do I do if I'm a good guy? If I class myself as a good guy, and I'm surrounded by these so-called sharks, how do I manage that? I mean, how do I keep stay focused? How do I try and be there for the good of the organization and the members of staff? So how do I manage this type of profile?
Well, there is that rare species of sharks that understand all the shark business, all the shark politics,
mm-hmm.
but they try not to use it in a aggressive way.
Mm-hmm.
They understand these people, okay, and they know what to expect from them, and they have answers to their attacks that are not bullying or aggressive. They can gain their respect.
Mm-hmm.
The sharks, in their minds, they are bullies.
Mm-hmm.
And the bully, when somebody does not react to the bullying, or somebody shows strength in face of the bullying,
mm-hmm.
the bully is lost. They don't know what to do anymore.
Okay.
So that might be, but you need a very strong personality.
Yeah.
Good sharks are much stronger than the bad sharks,
mm-hmm.
but they are not as common as the bad sharks.
Yeah. Okay. We've got quite a lot of descriptions of tactics or political tactics. I think we've covered obviously quite a few already in the previous slide. Again, this is just really sort of just a reminder.
Yeah, a very quick reminder. I'll just go through the titles. Okay, attacking and blaming is a shark attitude, of course. Using information as a political tool can be positive or negative.
Mm-hmm.
If you use the information to reach a final result that is productive, then it's okay. If you use information like many people do, you hide it, you keep it in the drawer, and nobody will benefit from it. That will not give a good result. Other tactics, some people create a favorable image, mm-hmm. So they rely on impression, the impression they give. They can build on previous experience or some things that they have done in their life that they are proud of. Mm-hmm. But sometimes also they are just lying and disguising the truth. There is nothing about their image that is really favorable, but they build it. And they try their best not to get uncovered.
Mm-hmm.
Those who have the ability to give favors, they will give favors, they will distribute them, and will ask for something in return.
Yeah.
Some people will go to influential people and try to convince them that they are good, that they need their support. and they will go and tell everybody that I am supported by so and so, very influential, etc. So they are using the charisma and the clout of other people to play their own politics.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, you have hundreds of other techniques and tactics of doing politics.
Okay. And finally, some practical advice on managing the organizational politics. Again, how can we, you know, as you said, use this to our advantage? What's the best way to, you know, deal with these politics?
Okay, the first thing to do is to have clarity. When you have clarity of rules and regulations, when you have clarity of systems, when people know exactly where they are and what they do, and who reports to who, and who has what kind of authority over others, then politics can become redundant, because in politics there is always something about uncertainty, and if you have a certain system, a clear system, it reduces the political game a lot. Second thing is to make sure that people are busy.
Yeah.
When people are busy, they don't have time for politics. Usually you'll have the most politicking in companies that are not really productive, that are in a bad shape, etc. And the last thing is to make sure that people are not living in ivory towers. They are not cut from the others. The more you mix people and the more you have interaction between them, politics can lose ground also, because they will know more about each other. They will be more happy to assist each other instead of playing the influence games.
Okay. All right. That's great. Thank you so much for your time today.